Temperature of Love, Episodes 22 Part 2 Inches. Young-sun says that his feelings were too strong to tell anyone, and that he was under no obligation to tell Young-woo in any case. Young-woo brings up how Young-sun cancelled plans with him to go on the trip with Hyun-soo, then gives a wry grin and admits that he's being childish. He asks if Young-sun can handle fighting over a woman, saying that he can, because all his life he's fought for what he wanted, and won. But Young-sun refuses to be intimidated and says that he can do that too, reminding Young-woo that love takes two people. He says that no matter how much they fight, the outcome isn't about winning, so he doesn't understand why they have to fight at all. Young-woo calmly counters that Young-sun doesn't need to fight because he's already got Hyun-soo. He asks if Young-sun thinks they can stay the same if he shakes them up, and Young-sun reminds him that they loved each other even though they were apart for years. Undaunted, Young-woo vows to shake them up anyway. He calls it a courtesy to his own life, for the years he spent loving Hyun-soo. As he walks away, Young-sun calls after him, "What about our friendship?" Young-woo says that this is the true beginning of their friendship, and wishes Young-sun good luck. He leaves with smirk, but his face goes hard as he turns away from Young-sun. Hyun-soo waits up for Young-sun to call as he promised, and when she doesn't hear from him, she remembers him saying that it's important for them not to let someone shake them up. She decides to go to his place, and as he opens the door and sees her, the world goes black and white for a moment. Then Young-sun smiles, and walks into Hyun-soo's arms. They stay that way for a long time, chatting about nothing more important than whether Hyun-soo took a shower before coming over. Seeing the drawing Young-sun's been working on for the new menu, Hyun-soo asks if the restaurant is losing money. She makes herself comfortable on the couch, holding Young-sun's hand and inviting him to talk about it. He reveals that Young-woo is his main investor, which makes Hyun-soo go quiet. Young-sun asks tenderly if she's afraid she'll start to waver, and if that's why she came here so late. She snarls that he's getting ahead of himself, but she does admit to feeling nervous because she's worried he'll doubt her. He says that Young-woo was there for her when he couldn't be, but that he doesn't want to own those years, so she can feel safe. She thanks him, then changes the subject, saying that getting a Michelin star is the best way to revive the restaurant. Young-sun teases her for trying to solve his problems, and she pretends that she's going to flounce home. He tells her to leave her bike and walks her back home hand in hand. Young-sun's mom goes to see Young-woo, confessing that she made some bad investments and spent Young-sun's inheritance to pay them back. Young-woo asks how much she needs, and she promises to pay him back when Daniel's paintings start selling. Hyun-soo's parents come to visit her in Gyeong, and mom suggests that they go to Good Soup since it was closed when they tried before. Excited, Hyun-soo calls Young-sun, enjoying the way his voice cracks when she informs him that he's about to meet her parents. She says they can just eat and go without his meeting them, but he quickly says that he wants to, and then checks his reflection in his phone. Unfortunately, Young-sun's mother and Daniel show up unannounced for lunch, too. When Hyun-soo's group arrives, she runs up to the roof to find Young-sun while her mother heads to the restroom. Her mom shares the mirror with Young-sun's mom, clearly disapproving of the way the flashy woman makes so much effort primping. The mothers head back to their tables and continue shooting eye daggers at each other. Hyun-soo's mom even alerts her husband and Kyung to the weirdos at the next table, correctly guessing that Young-sun's mom and the obviously much younger Daniel are dating. Young-sun's mother pouts that she's being stared at, though Daniel agrees that they stand out a bit. Young-sun is still on the roof, valiantly trying not to have a panic attack, which Hyun-soo thinks is adorable. Finally she suggests that they go downstairs, and she tells the nervous Young-sun that he doesn't need to do anything but stand there to make her parents like him, since he's so handsome. They head down arm in arm, but they stop dead in their tracks to see both of their mothers waving at them. Hyun-soo's mom calls out to her daughter, making Young-sun's mom whip around to stare at her. Young-sun and Hyun-soo stand stock still, gulping at the unexpected family gathering.